Imagine the reaction I got from the theater clerk I was trying to buy tickets from, as I was all like, yes, I'd like tickets for Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. He just laughed. What is up, everybody? Random Man here, bringing you my review for the film adaptation of Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. Wow, what a long title. Which stars Steve Carell, Jennifer Garner, Ed Oxenbould, Dylan Minnette, and Karis Dorsey, and is directed by Miguel Arteta. Now the plot, which of course is based off of the children's book of the same name and is written by Judith Viorst, follows Alexander, played by Ed Oxenbould, who, as the title suggests, has just had a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. And on the eve of his 12th birthday, he wishes that the rest of his family would go through the same thing to know how he feels. And sure enough, his wish comes true. Like many children growing up, I do remember reading this book when I was much younger, as who could forget the annoyingly long title that accompanies it. And as I saw that a movie being based off of this book was being made, it looked like harmless family fun, as Steve Carell and Jennifer Garner were being attached to this project produced by Disney. But was this movie as bad as the day that it centered around? Let's run down the whole thing. As our title character, I think Ed Oxenbould did a really good job portraying Alexander, as he did have a mopey attitude whenever his character was going through bad things, and he also tried to have an upbeat, positive attitude whenever bad things were happening to his family. And it really made for the point of the character being well portrayed on screen. The actor did have a noticeable lisp whenever he talked in this movie, but it wasn't to the level of Jar Jar Binks annoying, nor did it take away from my enjoyment of his character. As with the rest of our young actors, Dylan Minnette also does a good job portraying Alexander's older brother Anthony, as does Karis Dorsey portraying Alexander's older sister Emily. And special note also has to be given to the young infant that portrayed Alexander's baby brother Trevor, as he was just adorable to watch on screen. One character that I wasn't a fan of in particular was Bella Thorne as Anthony's girlfriend, as her character just seemed too nasty to be dating a guy like him, but luckily she wasn't in the film that long, so she didn't bother me too much. Finally, we have Steve Carell and Jennifer Garner as the parents here, and much to my surprise, they're actually the real standouts of this movie, as they are already established actors and could have easily gone overboard with the material here. But I actually think that this is a more subdued role for them, given that they are playing wacky parents doing what wacky parents usually do, and when they did need to ham up the humor, they were hammy, but they were also more down to earth and much more of the heartwarming moments, and that's actually pretty surprising considering that this will be wider appeal for older audiences, as overall, the cast here give pretty welcoming performances. Adapting any book into a movie is no easy task, especially considering that this one is only around 30 pages in length. But I think that's actually positive towards what the movie does with its plot, as the basic premise of the book is just enough to have all the comedy and some of the more down-to-earth moments that I previously mentioned be in this movie, especially considering that this is a family movie as a whole. Speaking of the comedy, there's quite a bit of it here, as this is a PG-rated film catered to younger viewers, and only some of the jokes presented here also go as far as to push the rating. There is a sequence near the end of the movie that does imply male strippers, and my favorite moment of the movie does have to do with multiple uses of the word penis, but the way that scene was executed was just utterly hilarious in my opinion, and there are many other jokes that do hit the right chords and only raise eyebrows here and there, if only subtly. One other aspect of the comedy that works here is modernizing the original source material, as the book was originally published in 1972 and is set in a modern era here. And integration of internet lingo such as Photoshop and the use of smartphones does work in the movie's favor, as it does make it more of a movie that was made in this time and makes it more relatable to its audience. This also adds on to what each member of the family subsequently goes through during their bad day, ranging from a chaotic driving test to an odd book reading with Dick Van Dyke of all people doing a weird cameo, which will add the wider appeal that this movie will cater to those who watch it, as this does relate to day-to-day life sequences that everyone will subsequently go through when they grow up. Even with these positives, there are a few problems I have with this movie, one of which is with the jokes. Now, while many of them do hit the right chords as I previously mentioned, some of them do fall flat and feel out of place whenever they are integrated into the actual story. Also, this film is short, very short, running at around 80 minutes, but it also does show that the movie does not try to push its luck with stretching out the plot as far as it could, as this does make for a short but sweet movie. Short but sweet are key words here, as all this comes down to a movie that is fine for kids and grown-ups as well, as the message that is presented at the end of the movie shows that we're all gonna have good days and we're all gonna have bad days, and it's just a matter of what we make every day a part of life. And this is a rare message for kids and grown-ups, considering that once kids' movies do come out, they're usually animated and vary in quality. And there aren't too many live-action kids films that will have a message that will resonate with everyone quite like this, and that makes this a very special kind of movie. My final thoughts on this movie are that its length and some of its eye-rolling content do not detract from what makes this a fun time for anyone who is just in for laughs, especially for families. The acting and the comedy presented here from its original source material, albeit modernized, makes this a very pleasant movie to watch. It may carry a long title, but it's short, sweet, and I recommend it. My final verdict for Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day is 3.5 out of 5 stars. Thank you all, as always, for watching. Be sure to like this video, comment on what you thought of Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. Subscribe to my channel for more, and I'll catch you on the next movie review.